Hey there, boys and girls. Welcome to your Ed Puzzle homework tonight, dealing with comparing and ordering fractions. So we're going to take what we learned earlier about fractions and use it tonight as we're trying to compare and put them in the right order. All right, so our learning target for tonight says, I can compare and order common fractions. And we're going to use a couple things to help us with that, but we're going to be working on comparing and putting them in the right order. All right, so comparing and ordering fractions, and I'm looking at this green box here. A lot of times in math, when we compare or we order things, we're either putting them in order from least to greatest or smallest to biggest, or doing the opposite of that, and we're going from greatest to least, and that would be biggest to smallest. Okay, so tonight for this video, I want you to focus on going from least to greatest or smallest to biggest. All right, now notice before, we were only looking at two fractions and we were trying to figure out how our alligator goes. We were trying to figure out which one it was going to eat. Now, though, I've got more than just two fractions. So I've got to put these fractions up here in order from least to greatest, or smallest to largest, or smallest to biggest. Okay. Now, there's a couple things that can help me with this. And we've all agreed, and this is something we're going to start working on here later, we all agreed that if these bottom numbers or these denominators were the same, or even our numerators were the same, this would be a lot easier. However, I've got two fractions up here that have thirds in the denominator, and I've got another two fractions that have fourths in the denominator. Now, my number line here can help me though. Okay, but what I got to figure out when I look at my number line is, notice this looks like another one of those where it's two that are stacked on top of each other because my marks all don't match up. So I got to figure out what the top number line is cut into and what the bottom part of the number line is cut into. Yeah, the top is going to be cut into thirds because it takes 3 hops to make one whole. And the bottom is going to be cut into fourths because it takes 4 hops to make one whole. So now all we got to do is I got to put these fractions where they go. Well, 1/3 would go right here. 2/3, well, that would be 1/3. So another hop would be 2/3. Now I'm looking at fourths on the bottom. That's 1 hop, 2 hops. So that would be 2/4. And then 3/4 would be one more. And when I look at these, I can figure out which one goes the farthest, which one goes the shortest, and then where those two in the middle come. So when I look at this, my smallest fraction would be, yep, 1/3 would be the smallest. So it would go, let me send this to the back. My smallest one would be 1/3. My largest one, or the one that goes the farthest, would be 3/4. And then 2/4 would be the next smallest because it doesn't go as far as 2/3 does on this number line. So 2/4 would be there, and then 2/3 would be the next biggest one from there. So if I was putting these in order from smallest to largest, 1/3 the smallest, then 2/4, then 2/3, then 3/4. And I use my number line to help me. I could also use my fraction wall though. Okay. 1/3, well, there's one piece. So 1/3 ends right there. 2/3 would end out here. Notice all I'm doing is looking at my pieces. 2/4 would be here, and 3/4 would be here. Looks very similar to what it did on my number line. 1/3 is the shortest, 2/4 and 2/3 are in the middle, and then 3/4 is the farthest one out there. It takes up the most space. Okay. So use your number line tonight and use your fraction wall tonight to help you answer these two questions on the next slide. Okay. So use your fraction wall to help you with problem A, and use your number line to help you with with problem B. Okay. We'll go over these tomorrow in class. Have a good night. Make smart choices.